Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Anyway, I'm here with the wonderful Sarah.
Hello.
It's always a good day when Sarah's here. And we have a special edition today.
We do.
Yes,
we stumbled across some stuff yesterday and figured it'd be fun.
Yes, and just having a look here. Which one of these do I want? I want this one. Just one thing I want to share with everybody before we get going. Share window. All right, I just wanted to let everybody know that there are new emojis for members. You can join to become a member on YouTube. Here it's right under the video. It's usually the join button's usually next to the subscribe button if you have not joined. So we've got these new little treasures, and so we've got Heart Eyes, we've got Cupcake Boo, we've got Heart Alfie. I wanted it to be I Heart Alfie, but it only lets me 10 characters, so it's Heart Alfie. And I realized we don't have a birthday one. So it's like, there's B-Day Boo, Birthday Boo.
Aww.
So yeah. So we've got some cute stuff for February. Oh, lucky girl. Thank you. All right. So yeah. So there are new for members. There are new emojis, and I just wanted to make sure I share.
That is too cute.
All right. Stop screen there. And the other thing I wanted to mention before we go into all the gates tea. Woo! We've got tea today. Now, whether you sip or you sip or spit is up to you.
Yes.
But we have tea today. However, before that, we have just a little teaser of possibly good things for the world to come, which is starting at 3 minutes.
Got it.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Share screen. I just wanted to mention or share this with you that I talked about this the other day, Mr. Kavanaugh. Mm-hmm. The thing to know about. Hang on a second. Gotta make things smaller. I can't see. I can't see. Hang on. All right. So it is visible. All right. Thank you, J-Rod. All right. So Brett Kavanaugh, this is his chart. And it was Jill Schaefer Hammond who was kind of, she has done her best to rectify this chart, because we don't actually know what his birth time is, but she was thinking it's possible that Saturn was over his moon over here, perhaps, during the Blasey Ford.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just having a quick look. Can I grab I need a circle.
Cheryl, that was yesterday.
Ding. There we go. I'll make this. No, I'll keep it black. All right. Just ignore me for just 1 second. All right.
You're good.
So she's thinking that Saturn. She's thinking Saturn was over here during the whole Blasey Ford mess, which would give him a birth time of 5:15 a.m. So, and I'm not even, what I've got here doesn't even matter what time he was. Well, Yeah, because the moon isn't a big part of what's about to happen to him. The thing to know about Matt Gaetz is this great big red T-square is a problem. That's not nice. When it goes bad, it goes really T-squares and grand crosses, which would be if it continued this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
And we're talking about Kavanaugh, right? Because you said something about Gaetz, but we're talking about Kavanaugh.
I'm so sorry.
Right?
Yes, it is.
No, you're good. I just wanted to clarify.
Thank you, Sarah. You are always making things better for me. You really are, and I'm grateful for you. So anyway, Kavanaugh has this T-square. That means that there are at least 3 things here, here, and here that are here. Let's do it this way. Here, here, and here that are at 90-degree angles from each other, which is very tense. Things tend to grind against each other. If you deal with it, it's Marjorie Orr, the great astrologer Marjorie Orr. She said that it's the grit that creates the pearl. That's what's called that's a square. That's when things are 90 degrees away from each other in a chart. Yeah, or it's just grit, or it's just frustration and tension, and for those of us who were born with great big T-squares in their charts, it usually takes a lot of years to work your way through it and figure out how to balance those parts of your chart and how to find a way for them to work together, because they don't necessarily want to work together.
Right. That makes sense.
So over the decades, you learn to walk that narrow path. It takes a lot of soul searching. It takes a lot of thought. Who thinks that this man's done a lot of soul searching?
He's dug deep to find his preferred alcohol beverage brand.
I like beer. Indeed. Mm-hmm. Indeed. So what this means for him probably, and I'm guessing, is the base of the T-square here is huge, expansive, possibly overconfident Jupiter, also known as Jove, which is where we get the word jovial. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. The people I've met in my life who are the most hedonistic were Sagittarians. That's my personal experience. Big,
right?
Let it all hang out kind of thing. Opposite that, so seesawing with that energy, is Neptune. And think of the ocean. You put something in the water, what does it do? It dissolves. Neptune rules everything that isn't material. It rules art, fantasy. It rules spirituality, things of that nature. So while Saturn is it forms things, Neptune's its opposite. It dissolves things. So whenever you're thinking about Neptune, think about, well, if I sunk this into the ocean, what would happen to it? Well, if it's dreams, art, spirituality, artistic ideas, this kind of stuff, well, it's nothing bad can happen to it at all. So this can be cloud cuckoo land if it's prominent in your chart. Because
especially if you're not going to do the work.
Yeah, especially if you're not going to do the work. And it's not as if Kavanaugh is, I'm not aware of an artistic outlet. I'm not aware of him. Say again?
Finger painting? Like in kindergarten that you do it with pudding?
Yeah, there you go. So with these two things opposite each other, they're on a seesaw. So you go from being way overconfident and kind of losing sight of your dreams, your the treasures within yourself, really, to it's all my dreams, more important than anything, and you maybe you're not as lucky about it, or it's so anyway. This is doing this in this chart, that energy, and that would be one thing. Except that energy, what happens with the T-square is that the energy along this axis dumps out through whatever's at the T. And since this is at 17 degrees and this is at 19, then this at 14, around about the same area, and actually his sun would get sucked into this too. His Mercury and his sun. So his communication and his sense of self. All this overconfidence, all of this overconfidence, and this cloud cuckoo land are here in Aquarius. And my best friend is an Aquarian. And there are evolved Aquarians and there are unevolved Aquarians, just like with every other sign. Miss Sarah is an evolved Aquarian.
I try my best.
You absolutely are.
I try my best.
You care about other people.
Yes.
Aquarians, when they go bad, think Mark Zuckerberg, who looks like a robot. It's a little chilly. They otherwise, humanitarianism. There's good stuff in Aquarius, but detached would be a good word, Tasha. Very good word for it. All right. So this is just that's not nice. He's going to be overconfident. He's going to embrace his delusions, and all of this is going to dump out through his sense of self. What I did find interesting is his sun. His sense of self is what is called inconjunct. And there is a different word for that too, but I think it sounds a little rude, so I just use inconjunct. Okay, when I explained how these are opposite each other, so they're 180 degrees from each other, so they're on a seesaw. Well, if something is inconjunct, it's not directly across, which would be here. It's 30 degrees over. So it's 150 degrees away. It's this weird. The energy itself is clunky, and so and when you have things that are inconjunct, what that means is that they see each other, they're aware of each other, but they can't figure out how to blend or interact or.
Right.
My joke about the two ships passing in the night, and I'm on this ship and he's on that ship over there, and it's just kind of I think there's somebody there. Hi.
Right.
He kind of waves. I know what that phrase is supposed to mean, but it's like no, no. And in conjunct, that's what you've got. You're over here, they're over there. You're going in different directions, but you see each other. You're looking right at each other. But so his very sense of self is pretty tightly in conjunct how he acts, the action he takes, the Mars, his masculinity. His masculinity is pretty. He can really separate his masculine actions from his sense of self.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And like I said, I haven't done anything here that I haven't talked about anything here that we would need a birth time for. But just I put these in here very quietly, just these kind of things here in case his moon is going to be within a range here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's chances are it's in Cancer, but it could very well be at the very tail end of Gemini. But if
there
it is
no way on God's green ocean that man's moon is in Cancer.
Everything moon in Cancer when it goes bad.
Well, then again,
Mama Bear, mad Mama Bear
Mommy
energy, Mommy Dearest.
Yeah.
Mommy Dearest, yes. So
Whew.
But I don't know. It could be we don't know. We don't know.
Right.
But if it is here or even a little later in the day, in the area where it is most likely to be, it is also squaring his Mars, which means his emotions grind up against his masculinity and the actions he takes. So, yeah. Anyway, so this jerk, what's coming up for him is, this could get interesting because back on January 11th, do I have a symbol for Saturn? I think I do. Somewhere. Sorry. That'll work. That is the symbol for Saturn. Then again, why use a symbol? I've got Saturn. All right. All right, Saturn in the sky is transiting. So, and the things move counterclockwise like this. Okay.
I love the fact that you're doing this with an actual planet. This helps me. So it's Saturn is literally whoo. There
we go. Well, if hang on. Doot. There we go. There we go.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
All right. So Saturn, on January 11th, Saturn, which think of the rings, it's fences, it's form, putting things in form, organizing things. But it's also the hall monitor, or it's an audit. That's the best word for it. It's an audit. When wherever Saturn shows up, it's like, okay, let's look at the receipts. Let's just check in. What have you been doing? Let's go down. If you've been working, if you have done the work, Saturn will reward you. If there is any work you have not done, if you are doing things that are sketchy, if, Saturn is going to be the biggest wet blanket. And talk about raining on your parade. Only what does it rain? Doesn't it rain like sulfuric acid or something on?
Yes.
Something very unpleasant on Saturn.
Yes.
Well, January 11th, so a few weeks ago, there started to be some little rumblings, I think, wasn't there? About things maybe coming back up about him.
The documentary, wasn't it?
What? Oh, the documentary.
Sundance? When was Sundance?
hang on. I've got the calendar right here. I want to say it was either the 14th or the 21st. And I think it was the 14th. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. When was Sundance? Are they saying in the chat? I can't see the chat right
now. 2 Saturdays ago.
Okay, so it was the 20th. Fair enough. Fair enough. 10 days after, 11 days after. That counts. That'll do it. Mm-hmm. So that was raining on his parade. And so that happened there. Now, May 8th, Saturn is going to conjunct the Saturn in his chart. That's the planet Saturn. That's the symbol for Saturn. It looks like a number 5 people you've started to like unbend. Mm-hmm. That's what Saturn looks like. Symbol. Saturn is going to when Saturn goes back over where Saturn is in your chart, that's called your Saturn return. And that's why when people are about 29 and a half, they are suddenly like, my life is passing before me. What have I done with my life? What am I going to do with my life? What haven't I accomplished? You know, that's a really common thing to talk about when just before you turn 30. Mm-hmm. That's Saturn. That's Saturn. Saying, okay, Saturn, what have you done? What have you accomplished?
Right.
Saturn rules Capricorn, that workaholic sign of achievement. So he's going to have a second Saturn return, and that means the things are coming home to roost. And what he hasn't done with his life is going to be a big deal. What he has and hasn't done with his life, it's review time. It's audit time. Mm-hmm. You get a couple of pretty big audits in your life. You get 2 or 3 if you live long. You know, hopefully you live long enough. But he's on May 8th. He's about to have his second Saturn return. Now, for funsies, I went and looked because Saturn is going to go forward and it's going to retrograde and then go forward again.
It's wee woo, wee woo. Yes. Just seeing it move. This tickles me, something fierce.
Well, I'm glad. It's not going to be until May of next year that this Saturn is going to conjunct his Chiron, which is the wound that will not heal.
Oh.
We all have one. But in a year's time, Saturn dour auditing Saturn, basically standing on your wound that will not heal. Mm-hmm. Ouch. So that should be fun. So May 8th is really important here. However, there are 2 more planets. Neptune. Hello, Neptune. There's Neptune. And Uranus.
Please use the one with the eyeballs. You don't have to, but that just tickled me. You use the other one to make it right.
Yeah. Okay. I want to use this one because the rings are sideways. Mm-hmm. And that would be even better. And that's the thing about Uranus. We've talked about that. It has rings. It has quite a few rings, but it's all sideways. Mm-hmm. All right. on April 29th. So this is May 8th, where Saturn's going to be, he's going to have a Saturn return right there.
Mm-hmm.
On April 29th,
Mm-hmm.
his Mars is at 26 degrees. Neptune is going to be opposite his Mars.
That doesn't sound lovely.
And I'm going to make this a darker red.
Oh, you know it's messed up when it's a darker red.
I'm just differentiating from the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just red. It's not just caution. It's super caution. So.
All right. So Neptune is going to be opposite his Mars. So his sense of action, what action he can take.
Mm-hmm. Karen, she's looking at Brett Kavanaugh's chart.
Yeah, it says Brett Kavanaugh right here.
Yeah.
Neptune dissolving, weakening.
And Lucky Girl, you're right. It's Esther Seek for the main chart, and then for her notes and everything else, it's Canva. So yeah. Mama Bear was wondering what you were using.
This chart is actually from astro.com.
Astro.com, excuse me.
No worries. And yes, I'm using Canva to show this to you. So that's April 29th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on April 21st,
yes,
Uranus,
mm-hmm.
trucking along here,
mm-hmm.
is going right there. So
okay.
I've explained how the thing about Uranus is that it's kind of crazy energy,
mm-hmm.
where you get the unexpected.
Yes, I love this. This is like my favorite. I just wish it was on a better person, but this is my favorite chart you've ever done.
Well, this unstable, chaotic energy is going to set off his whole T-square.
Oh.
So bolts out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Bolts out of the blue. Very chaotic energy hitting this whole T-square, his sense of self, his communication, his lucky Jupiter, his cloud cuckoo land, Neptune. That happens on April 21st. April 29th, Neptune affects his masculinity, how he is seen as a man, likely.
Mm-hmm.
And then on May 8th, he's getting a Saturn return.
So basically, spring in the Kavanaugh household is going to be lit, fam.
Yeah.
And not like in the happy way, but in the whoo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that is that's what's going on with Kavanaugh. And that's why I wanted to, and I know this has been a little long-winded, but yeah, I'll start doing charts like this. Yeah, I'll start doing charts like this if it helps people understand.
Yeah, because now I get it. Before, sometimes like I guess I'm just visual. Like even though I know what you're saying when you're like Saturn's here and this is a symbol for this and this is a symbol for this, and I get like intellectually I get it,
mm-hmm.
but my brain's like okay sometimes, but actual like wee-hoo. That makes me feel better. So
okay, let me just do this. I'll put this down here, and we'll use this again in future. there, and I will make it white.
Cool beans.
Group, position, backwards.
Cool beans.
All right. So let's keep an eye out for April 21st, April 29th, and May 8th. So this time period.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh. Y'all. Okay.
Okay. Are you guys ready for the tea?
We're going to break it down in stages because it's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot.
And it's all about Gates.
Yes. Normally, when you look at the description box, when you come in, everything is there and you can see it and you're like, okay, yes. But there's just so much. And I stumbled across a lot of this yesterday, and I want to thank Kristen with Uncover the News because she had sent me something that included some of this in it. And then I was just like in deep dive mode. I don't know. I was like, whoo. And I was like, no. Ooh, wow. Ooh. No. That was me. So I was like, hey, can we do it like this today? And Autumn was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. So I'm going to give you some background while she gets her cards and stuff together. So I'm going to drop it into the description box in stages so you could follow along and not get overloaded. So, all right. So today we're looking at Matt Gaetz and some info with him versus Rebecca Jones. Rebecca Jones, a little bit of background, was the whistleblower against the state of Florida when DeSantis was trying to fudge COVID numbers. What is my time? I started at state 31:30. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so back when DeSantis wanted the COVID numbers fudged back in 2020, when he wanted to show that they didn't have as many positive things as they did. And she was like, and he had her home raided and tried to throw her in prison. And then she decided to go into politics. There's more to it than that. There's a link that gives you some background.
Tell them what happened to her house.
2:00 in the morning, she knew that it was coming. Because she had gotten a heads up from some friends that she had in the police department and whatnot that, DeSantis is coming for you. He has sent the squad for you. So at 2:00 in the morning, police burst into her home with semi-automatic weapons pointed at her children's heads to raid her house. They found nothing. And then they charged her for the privilege. She received a $20,000 bill for the police to come and point semi-automatic weapons at her children. Now,
and her children were 5 and 11?
No, 2 and 11 at the time.
2 and 11.
Yes. The link to that is in the first paragraph of the background information. Yes. She still has to pay the $20,000 bill. Everything else has gone away. All the charges has gone away. But the judge in the lovely state of Florida, she's got a GoFundMe. It's listed in there. She's paid off like $13,000, but she's still got a little more, and she can't leave the state until it's paid off. So she decided that, you know what, I'm going to go into politics. This needs to change. That we need to do something about this. So she's in Gates's district. She ran against Gaetz. Now, at the time, her entire focus was DeSantis and DeSantis's corruption and bigger things. She wasn't worried about Gates's personal life. She had heard 1,010,000 things. She's what he does behind closed doors. That's not what I'm going for right now. Well, she's decided, and plus she was trying to do the whole when they go low, we go high. And now she's just, we're not doing that. No. Here's all the receipts. So, and plus she made a lot of friends who came to her during all of this going, hey, this is happening. Because, once you're established as a whistleblower, other people who want to blow whistles come to you like, hey, this is also going on. Who do I talk to? What do I do with this information? What do I do with that information? And so now she's dedicated this portion of her life to taking down Gaetz and DeSantis. And so let the tea begin. So,
okay, one second. Someone said, can they do that? That was my question. Apparently in Florida, they can.
In Florida, they can. Mm-hmm.
So her house was raided.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For no good reason. Nothing was found.
Mm-mm.
It was political backlash.
Mm-hmm.
But she still has to pay the police $20,000. Betty, you're saying I would sue. Apparently, that's the law in Florida.
Yes.
They can charge you. You has to.
For the privilege.
For the privilege of being raided.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, now all of this information that we're going to talk about today, she's listed a lot of things. There are some things that unless it was indicated that she has, yes, for entertainment purposes only, I'm going to use the word allegedly a lot. Now, supposedly, allegedly, for everything there is evidence for, things that have been turned over to not just the FBI, but the DOJ and some investigative reporters at the Daily Beast and New York Times that are working on this. And a lot of this just broke yesterday. So, okay. Next little bit is going up now. So, interviews. Jones recently interviewed 23 sources, quote, 13 former and current staffers, 3 close friends, a relative, 2 ex-lovers. These are all for Matt Gaetz. A bartender from his favorite bar, 2 former stylists, a desk clerk at a hotel he frequents. Every single one of them personally observed proof of sex trafficking, illicit drug use, underage drinking and partying, affairs, and or financial crimes. She went for everybody. She got his. So at 3750. Now on all of this, I'm giving you the links on where to follow along for this with the threads and whatnot. So that way, the DOJ question, here we go. The DOJ has apparently only taken the time, as of yesterday, to interview one of all of those people, or had even reached out to one about Gaetz's crimes. Why is the DOJ not taking Gaetz seriously? Question 1.
First of all, I love her. She's awesome.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, at this point, she figures she has nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what are they going to do? They've already barged into her house and pointed guns at her children.
Mm-hmm. Who are traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
That's her. Hierophant, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. It's like Merrick Garland not wanting to look partisan.
I'm going to make you bigger so that way people can see the cards.
Don't.
Okay. Okay.
Those cards aren't worth looking at. That's just okay. So that's what happened. Will they take action? Will the DOJ go interview the hairdresser, the favorite bartender, the
3950. Will this change now that this information has come up?
The cigarette girls, the carnival barkers, the Arkham Asylum inmates and everybody else. Because if we're expecting the state of Florida to go after Matt Gaetz,
that's not happening. And we'll get into more about that later, which is why we're dropping this one drop at a time.
All right. Would you mind making me bigger, please?
There we go.
7 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, King of Cups. So far, it's pathetic. This isn't action at the DOJ. That's Biden's DOJ. This is the garbage in the House where they're going to go after Hunter Biden's son, or sorry, Hunter Biden and all this other garbage.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not liking this.
Okay.
So FBI, DOJ, just gonna really?
Right.
Just hang on. This is what you're thinking about doing. Really? Eight of Swords. World. Somebody's going after him. King of Swords. Four of Swords. Or they tried and it didn't work. They tried.
Okay.
I think this is more state level. This feels like it's more state level.
Okay.
And his buddy, hasn't his buddy gone to prison? But he's still
Oh, we got a whole lot about that later too. So it all circles back.
All right. So ultimately what we have to ask here is this chart going to be held accountable for any of this stuff?
Well,
but go ahead. We'll do the thing.
So at 4230, 4230. All right. Allegedly, for entertainment only, staffers suggest that the persons the DOJ should talk to should be Gaetz' schedulers. Apparently, they're the ones with all the dirt. What kind of information, roughly, could they be hiding of him? What would they know? What could they gleam to interested parties?
They've kept it quiet. Very quiet. Hermit. 6 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Page of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. I'm not sure they're the people to talk to.
Okay.
It might be his schedulers, but then again, they would know where he was going and when. And they definitely know some stuff. There's I'm not liking this Page of Cups here or this Queen of Pentacles here.
I have an idea about that Queen of Pentacles.
Yeah, I think I think we know who this is. We'll tell you in just a minute, but we think we know who this Queen of Pentacles is. But I'm not liking this, and he keeps these people quiet, and I think he keeps them in the dark as much as he can.
If you've got an evil henchman card, I've got one of those coming up too later. So yes, we have intrigue. Okay, so allegedly,
CC Ryder wants to know: are the sources credible?
Yes. There are a lot of things that she posted that I couldn't find stuff for this stuff, and it'll all circle back. So the ones that's what I just listed just now, those two questions are the most vaguish of all of the questions. Everything else, there's actual, like, we could find paper trails for, like if you wanted to Google yourself and go looking. Now the interviews, she's turned all that stuff over. Have I seen that? No.
To whom?
FBI, DOJ, investigative reporters at Daily Beast, New York Times. All of that was as of yesterday. So there should be some stuff coming from this in the next couple of weeks. So, all right. Now, next. The condo. Right. We're at 45, let's say 46 even. So, Jones uncovered that one of Gates's biggest legal clients and donors, Suzanne Harris, that would be the lady with the money, has allegedly been supplying Gates with a secret condo that wasn't reported as a perk to the FEC. Now, before Gates came into office, he was a lawyer. His biggest and most repeated client was Suzanne Harris. She then went on to be one of his biggest campaign donors, still is to this day. Harris is a wealthy woman, and she's bored. So, I know Florida's not the only state with.
Are you explaining what he did for her legally?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Please.
No, you're good. Some states, and I know it's not just Florida, but I don't know if Louisiana does too, but I wasn't familiar with the term. But Florida is a sunshine law state, which means, and the whole point is that you're supposed to be able to shine the light on things to make sure there's nothing corrupt going on, but which is hilarious that it's Florida. But a sunshine law state means that it's like a super Freedom of Information Act. If I want to know not just what's going on, but who's hiring who and who's getting paid what and what decisions are being made behind closed doors, I could submit a request in writing to Florida. And if they don't answer it within a period of time that is reasonable, I could then sue them for thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Suzanne Harris had nothing better to do and would literally sue, would request random things and sue. In one county, she sued and won 3 times. Gates was her lawyer all 3 times. And one case, and I shared the link with you yesterday, she won $180,000 in legal fees. That state had to pay her legal fees. Well, who gets that money? Her lawyer, who was Gates.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this can be found in Google. Well, no, this is not just entertainment only. This is Google. Like there is news reports from, whatever. There are court records. So this right there, that part about her suing people and Gates being her lawyer, that's not entertainment only. So, but she had a condo, fully furnished, that
Where?
in it was in I didn't put that part here. I want to say Daytona, not Daytona. Yeah, there's
Okay.
a beach condo with the D somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but he could use that as his little hidey hole. Yes, Lisa, he was a lawyer. He stopped practicing. Last year, there was a big thing that he just let his license go. But she's still his biggest donor. And she is in her late 60s, early 70s. She's an older woman. There it is. So at 49.55, Was this allegedly used, this condo, for any of Gates's meetings where crimes took place? It might have been Destin, Alpha.
And I'm sorry, I'm making you hungry.
No, you're good.
Oh, no, it said in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. King of Pentacles.
Mm.
King of Swords. Six of... Okay, it's back. It froze up.
Okay, there we go.
They entertainment only, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment only. This feels like they already, the authorities already knew about this, and the parties.
Okay.
But this is more the Floridian authorities who are just can't seem to pull themselves together to charge Matt Gaetz with anything. This is more federal.
Yeah, the SEC cares. Yes.
Yeah, this is the this is insult to injury, and this is suspension. I'm getting that he has problems coming up, but
and we'll talk about that later too, because that's coming full circle.
Okay.
Okay. So, bum. And now, I mean, really, and this is, you know, you and I talked about this briefly yesterday at 5220. How does Ginger Lucky feel about a woman nearly twice her husband's age supplying him with a secret condo? Because I would have opinions.
Yeah. I've read on her recently. And I was very much getting a get out. Like, lady, go. I know you had this dream of being married. I know you had this dream of this future together. Go. Go while you can just pick up your stuff and you can go, and you don't catch something that you don't, that everything attached to him doesn't implode. Bank accounts, who knows what else. Go. He entertainment only, but what I'm picking up is the party didn't stop.
Four
of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, World, Five of Wands, Seven of Swords. I know it's your dream. I know it's your dream. And I understand that dream. I am a divorced person. I understand a dream. And you don't want to give it up. Yes, dear. But, and her family has money. I don't know. When your family has money, it doesn't necessarily mean you do.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know what her finances are like. But there's a big dose of truth right there. And it is cold. It's like taking the ice bucket challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you do not get out, you will be sucked down into this maelstrom. And this is a thief card, and he will take everything from you.
Yourself, not just money, your self-worth, your sense of security. Yes.
There won't be, your marriage won't have been long enough for you to get some good, maintenance afterward, or no, he will take.
Valerie says Boo Boo has an opinion in the background.
Yes.
Boo Boo or Alfie, one of them have opinions with a capital O. Yes.
But he's at this moment, it's like he's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what it looks like right now. But he's not. This is the party. This is the death of the party. This is the chaos of the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But right now, that's him, and he thinks he's woohoo. It's spring break every day.
Ew. Oh no. I mean, yeah. Okay. At 55:55. And I noticed some of you talking about this in the chat. Apparently, there has been, since all of this started dropping last week, there has been a panic. Since Jones has started spilling what she knows, Gates has started, quote, panic firing his staff. All right. I think some of y'all mentioned that. He's down, from what I read, to only 5 staffers in Florida that were original. So everybody else gone.
I wonder how many he fired.
Quite a few, if I remember correctly. I think somebody else mentioned that too. They might have a better number. So one staffer who spoke to Jones said they fear for their personal safety. Is Gates allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, threatening people even indirectly to keep their to keep their silence, either legally or otherwise? Yes, Kelly, she's young. Ginger's younger.
And she thought she was marrying an up and coming congressperson.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
That, and he came from a family with a good name at one point, or at least a big name locally in Florida.
Mm-hmm. So 5 of Wands, Page of Cups, 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Aren't a couple of his staff who've left, aren't they saying that they want some money from him?
Yeah, that's next. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the cards jumped the gun because that's exactly. You want silence? You pay me for the silence.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, it's all coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, because the next question was that 2 staffers are reportedly looking for buy-offs, but do they want to be paid to talk or be paid to keep silent? I mean, who are they wanting to get paid by, or do they care? Jones noted that each of them had their own agenda. Everybody that she talked to had their own agenda. Some people are looking for safety. Some people are looking to make money one way or the other. So.
Exactly, Wheezy. She should get out before there are kids to keep her having to deal with him for the rest of her life. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
3 of Wands. Looking out for. I've sent my ships. My ship coming in.
Thank you, CC Ryder.
2 of Pentacles, Judgment, 2 of Cups. There is somebody who tried to blackmail Gates and Gates' father for stuff Gates had done, and that person has actually gone to prison because it was a straight up blackmail. Mm-hmm. This is different because this isn't. I'm not asking you. I'm saying I can go over here. This person's offering me this amount of money to tell the story.
Right.
Why shouldn't I?
Right.
And not just loyalty to you. You're firing me. So
I mean, to them, it's no different than when you get a better job offer. It's like, hey, company B has offered me $20K more a year. I mean, do you want to beat it or do I need to go? Sort of. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there's something here about this is something about Gates's finances. There's something dodgy here. Surprising. I mean, he's such an up and up kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Big judgment, major arcana, everybody finding out, and these people telling their stories. He's unwilling or unable to pay them to keep them silent. This is where they talk, and it all comes out. I mean, it all comes out.
You know how I feel about that. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So
now the thing is that it all could come out, and is that actually going to get him kicked out of the house? Who knows?
Interesting. That is the perfect seg for the next section.
Okay.
So, all right. At 010130. I tried to list all this out where it sort of flows. So far, I'm quite proud of myself. We're flowing.
You should be proud of yourself. You are amazing.
Thank you. So, exit. It's the next section. For one reason or another, Gates is looking seriously at his congressional exit. So, either because he's wanting to get out, he's tired of it, he thinks, or it's not he's tired of it. He's not tired of the attention. Either he thinks he can make more money and fame elsewhere, or he knows he's about to get yeeted into oblivion. Now, he'd thought at one point of going for Florida governor if DeSantis went for president. Could that actually be a thing? Yeah.
Gates for governor. Hey, I lived in Louisiana. You live in Louisiana. Wouldn't stop someone there for. There's been worse. There have been worse governors.
Yeah.
Okay, what is going on, sweetheart? Trying to dig a nest? I don't think it would go well.
No, I don't think it would go well either.
Yeah. Queen of Cups. Knight of Cups. Six of Wands. Four of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. He doesn't end up governor. But this is the facade of married man, congressperson, blah, blah, blah. Look at everything he accomplished. And he stood up to McCarthy and blah, blah, blah. And then he just denies as he's given more and more information. It's like question about this, question about that, question about that. This is a refusal. I don't know what you're. And then he's just a guy just standing there in a field or garden or a country club or something, but he's just standing there, and he's not a congressperson. He's not a governor. He's just a guy. Personally, if he's done all this stuff that he's accused of, he should be in prison.
Yes. Well, let's look at a couple. Go ahead.
CC Writers has found old 2021 news links about Gates staffers leaving. Nothing current as of yet.
Okay. All right. Rebecca had mentioned that he had fired a bunch of people last week or last week and the week before last. So that's where I was looking at that. So now at 01:05:20, at one point, Gates was apparently looking at going to Newsmax. Since they could be on the decline, would he still consider that?
Hello, sweetness.
Or if it would be easier, do we see him as a political pundit in general?
You good boy.
Whether for Fox or Newsmax.
The word that's coming to me is toxic. Toxic.
Okay.
And right underneath that, because of, there's a lover's card and there's him being beaten up or feeling beaten up. All right, sweetheart. All right, sweetie.
Okay.
This is Daddy protects him. And this is, there may be some people there may be like a Steve Bannon who wants, because he filled in for Steve Bannon recently for an interview with, was it Lindell?
Maybe.
As long as he sticks to far right politics, there might be something there. But this is not big. This is not kings.
Yeah, so he's not going to go anywhere near Tucker's time slot. So
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't mean to spit.
You're good. Oh no, see, I'm not doubting you at all. I'm not. You're good. Okay. Well, real quick at 1 hour 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah, he interviewed Santos. That was right, Anne. Thank you. Thank you.
The exit may be involuntary, and he maybe know that that's coming. Where he's at is a red district either way, and the GOP want him out after his behavior during the McCarthy votes, allegedly. Remember what they did to Madison Cawthorn after he failed to toe the party line. They allegedly already have people in place to replace him in his district. Will he be pushed out?
Don't let the door hit you in the rear end. That's true, Shay Laughter. No one wants to get near Tucker's time slot.
Yep.
This is us enjoying some popcorn. Would you like some popcorn? Oh, I'd love some popcorn. Thank you. See these white flowers? Sometimes it's like popcorn. You know, those cones of popcorn used to get. Seven of Wands, 5 of Wands, Hanged Man, Emperor, Star. That's a little bit of a contradiction there. He's on the defensive for garbage he did. He has all kind of name recognition. Let me get a qualifier because I mean, it could be, it traditionally that would mean, that would simply mean, you know, his time as emperor is going to be suspended, but I don't know about the energy of that. And I've got about 10 more minutes, just so you know. 11. 4 of Wands. 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Death card. Well, we're going to be happy to see the back of him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think the disconnect is, I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to take as long as his next. I don't think it's going to take as long as January 2025, where he or his replacement would take power.
Right.
November 2024 next year. I think we are going to be very pleased when he's out. And I don't think it's going to take that long. That's why I was getting the suspension of the Emperor, the Star Emperor.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to do all right on...
Hang on. CC Ryder says Newsweek got slammed for reporting Rebecca's allegations last week. By whom? I mean, I am all for being as fair as possible. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
But who's slamming them? Who's right. We're reading on T. We're not, and right. We're doing our best to have, and Sarah was kind enough to go digging through a whole lot. This is not something that Sarah just like, oh, I saw this in one place, and so we're doing this, all these questions and all this deep dive. She went digging, and there are all kinds of links in the description box too. So I do appreciate, I make mistakes. I end up pulling up sometimes I get questions. It turns out that it's from an article from 3 years ago, but if you think there's absolutely nothing to this, I understand that. And mm-hmm. in the comments after the live stream, please put in links to prove that it's wrong. We want to hear it. We want to know. But Wednesdays is a tight day for me. I've got 8 minutes left, and I'm just going to focus on
Fox News slammed them. Well, there you go. Fox News slammed Newsweek for reporting them.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to focus on this.
Really quickly, there's 2 questions left. We might only get to one. This one is. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
This is the evil henchman question. So we're going to talk about Larry Hetu. I could be mispronouncing that. Excuse me. Now, this one in the link provided, there are court documents and screen captures. So this is Gates hired Larry Hetu, who previously worked for the Floridian GOP. He is a Canadian citizen, a known child predator, and Gates hired him to handle the IRS cases for his congressional office. So at one point, Gates had Hetu trailing minor male children of other politicians, stalking them to get their photos, in one case even going so far as to follow them into public restrooms. This is in court. The judge declared that since the child was the child of other politicians, that, we don't know what angle they were trying to go for when they were following the child. As a parent, I don't give a flying your angle. The boy was autistic, high functioning, but still, you follow my 11-year-old child into the bathroom to take pictures, much less my autistic child. We have issues that God is going to have to help you with. For entertainment purposes only. There is a statement that the judge read from the young man in question in the link. about how scared he was. Gates had Hetu, and this is all public record, follow this child and take his picture. But we don't know the angle. Okay. I don't care the angle. So,
and there's proof that Gates, like there's an email or there's something.
Oh yeah, they've been to court about it. Gates had to pay money about it. I don't know why major people didn't pick up on it, but there is links to court records. But at 1:15:55, what is this end game?
What is what?
What is his end game with him following these politicians' children? What is his angle? Why? Is it because it's a political thing, or is it because of things we don't want to think about? Or will anything happen? However you would rather approach that, I'm going to let you handle that.
Card for the reading is the insult to injury. 3 cards for the reading, 7 of cups, the 2 of swords, and the 6 of cups. Intimidation.
Okay.
Behind that, Hermit. So Gates trying to keep his hands dirty, but in politics, you got somebody following your kid, that's intimidation. Plus the fact that this is a known offender.
Mm-hmm.
He was convicted in court.
Mm-hmm.
And Gates told him to follow children.
Child. Mm-hmm.
A child.
Mm-hmm.
Just one?
At least one that there are court records for. That I could find an actual paper trail it had been suggested possibly more, but there is one that there is actual documented, like Freedom of Information Act. You can look this up. This happened. Like it's paper trail proof of. Yeah.
I wonder if this was whose idea this was originally.
At the time, Hetu still worked for the Florida Republican Party, which was owned by, of course, DeSantis. And then afterward, Gates hired him on to do the IRS things because, yeah, he can handle IRS stuff. I don't know.
So when he did this, who was he working for when this child was followed?
Gates had him do it, but he was on the payroll of the Florida Republican Party. Yeah. The last
is this gonna come back to bite Gates? Please tell me this is gonna come back and bite Gates.
A 119 even.
Yeah, exactly. Because the blankety blank knows how to stalk children. 8 of Cups. 4 of Cups. King of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. 8 of Swords. Empress. This is an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
This is mothers in Florida being a wee bit upset. The anger coming off of this card is Fuego. He really thinks he could do anything. Any horrible thing that came into his horrible head. He'd just do it. As long as he kept it quiet.
There is one other question that we'll probably wait till tomorrow with time that basically checks back in with everything regarding possible evidence tying DeSantis rather tightly to Gates and Joel Greenberg's sex trafficking scandal.
Oh, let's cover that tomorrow.
Yes.
And I would very much now like to repeat, I've said this before, but I will say it again. I am not a mother. I was not blessed with children, but Hal Sparks are, I watch a lot of Hal Sparks and other people, and anyway, but Hal Sparks is a father. Mm-hmm. And he has apparently had to go to court for years trying to get some, partial custody of his kid and all this kind of stuff. And he's gone through a lot. And he is in his child's life. And his son stays with him sometimes. And part of the time. And he said, I don't care what the laws are, basically. He said, anyone touches my child, we are going to have some alone time, just then, me and a vegetable peeler. I don't believe in violence, but I do believe in self-defense. And there's a certain amount of self-defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to your children, they're not able to defend themselves.
Exactly.
And so your self-defense is part mm-hmm. of defending your children. That mm-hmm. It's all defense. So thank you all for humoring us while we sip the tea today. So all of this stuff, you should be seeing a lot of this in the news in the next coming weeks. It's kind of good to get ahead of things before they become new things. So when it does come out, you could be like, oh, we heard about that the other day on our show. Mm-hmm. We know.
Because of how good Sarah is.
Well, it was my birthday and I was digging in Twitter and I felt nosy and I was like, ooh, juicy. So again, thank you, Kristen, for sort of inadvertently routing me here.
Well, and it's also, I get to the point where I don't think I can despise some of these people more, and they mm-hmm. find a way. Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, Kelly, my, what a hot mess. I think that's the best way to put that. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to do it for us for today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's Sarah. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Yes. And in just under 2 hours, we'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel.
Absolutely.
And yeah, other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow. All right. So hang in there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. You're not alone. We're in this together. There are good days ahead. There are.
Yes.